I am here with Alan Wenkus. I can't even stand it right now. This is the producer and writer, Oscar-nominated writer of Straight Outta Compton. I've met you before, and your story is amazing of how this script came together. But one of the questions I'd love to ask you is, what is your favorite part about the writing process?
I think the interview process with True Stories is fascinating because you get to meet the real people, and when we met Jerry Heller, played by Paul Giamatti, we got to spend time with him and hear his side. It was just so exciting because he was bringing the emotional story that he experienced. So we're just, like me and my co-writer, were writing it all down, And then we met Eazy-E's widow, and she had a perspective, that no one else had.
Wow.
So I do a lot of real stories and true stories, so meeting the real people.
Why do you think you're so drawn to, real life stories?
Because number one is I've worked in radio and news just like you, and so I've got my eye on the news. And if there's anything that has a marketing angle, it's a story that somehow is tied to the news. And when we tied in the police profiling young black kids in Straight Outta Compton, it tied right into the news cycle, and it kind of upped the ante and the importance of the project. So. Yeah.
And for it to come out at such a time, I mean, just the alignment of that with everything that was going on in the news when that movie came out, I have to say one of the greatest marketing things was the little straight out of, and then you could put anything.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that to come up with that? Do you know?
I believe that was Dre and the guys doing Beats, which he had just made a deal at Apple, and they kind of formulated the idea. And it was the Straight Outta meme, and we were the #1 trending topic on Twitter
crazy.
And on Instagram because of that.
Yeah.
And that came out of Dre's camp and Dre's people, and then Universal went, let's do it. Yeah.
It was genius. Now, when I watched the movie, there were so many really great moments. There was one particular moment, if you can explain if it was actually written in there or was it something that the director, Gary Gray, added. It was when the two colored flags were tied together, and they were like kind of when everything was
the two gang handkerchiefs.
Yes. Was that actually written in there, or is that something that you guys came up with?
That was in the final shooting script, but it definitely was part of F. Gary Gray's process. He was part of, giving input into the script. So I can't pinpoint exactly how it ended up, but I would say Gary Gray and Ice Cube had a big part of that.
Awesome. And now what are you working on these days?
I just finished a biopic on George Jones and Tammy Wynette, and we're in pre-production. I've got I'm in formulation on a deal on the John Fogerty Creedence Clearwater story, which is really an amazing story. And I just adapted the book Codename Johnny Walker, which was a New York Times bestseller about an Iraqi citizen who infiltrates ISIS. And all those projects are now in development. So.
Awesome. And my last question, for other young writers that are going to be here tonight, what's some advice that you can give to them?
Write, even when you don't have an assignment, just constantly be playing with words, jotting down ideas in notebooks. You will go back to that notebook and find little gems of ideas that you can use in scenes and characters and flesh out into stories.